Pod Sound School presents Content Jefe, the podcast that helps online business owners make better content and more money. Let's Jefe up. Hello, amigo, amigazo, Content Jefe. Welcome to the Content Jefe podcast, brought to you by the Pod Sound School. I'm Veronica.
And I'm Studio Steve.
And this podcast is for you if you're an online business owner or content creator trying to figure out content creation and how to make money online. Each episode will bring you inside the world of content marketing so you can make better content and more money.
Yes, and on this episode, we're talking all about podcasting on YouTube.
Our jam.
This is our jam, and we're going to drop some serious nuggets. So, we better get started.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets are kind of
When
gross.
people say nuggets, that's what I picture in my mind.
I think so too. I mean, what other kind of nuggets are there? Cheese nuggets?
No.
Is anything you fry and like kind of small a nugget? I think the word nugget actually comes from gold. I think that's where it comes from. A nugget of gold. So it's like a nugget, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it usually just represents this tasty little bola of deliciousness that you want to bite into. But I wouldn't want to bite into gold. It would crack your teeth.
That was 2 minutes of my life. I'm not I won't get back. Okay.
Well, what can I say?
Do you want to introduce the episode?
Why don't we introduce the episode?
Okay.
Oh, you want me to introduce it?
Yeah.
So in this episode, we're going to get into 3 points. First, we're going to talk about some big announcements when it comes to podcasting on YouTube. Then we'll dive into what's the difference between the YouTube platform for podcasting and all the other podcast players, because that's kind of confusing.
Mm-hmm.
And then third, we're going to talk about some do's and don'ts, some best practices when it comes to podcasting on YouTube, leave you with some amazing takeaways like we always do,
Mm-hmm.
and tell you about our sweet and amazing workbook that's available for download. So stick around for that. And why don't we just start with the first point?
Okay. So big announcements that are happening among the podcasting industry.
In the world of YouTube.
In the world of YouTube and podcasting and all that.
Oh, this is a really good article that Veronica is pulling up. It's called 4 Reasons.
It's called The 4 Signs.
Oh, The 4
Signs.
Signs.
This is by the podcast host.
Mm-hmm.
And the article titles 4 Signs Video Podcasting is About to Take Off.
Yes.
And the first one says that data suggests that podcast newcomers want video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in this article, it says something, is it 65%?
Said that they prefer to watch podcasts instead of just listening to them.
Yeah. So this is a cool insight to have, that people actually prefer having both options, even though a lot of podcast listeners who are watching or listening to a video podcast, they just kind of put their phone aside, or they'll even kind of minimize that window of the phone and do something else on their phone. But maybe whenever the hosts laugh or say something ridiculous about plantain chips,
Mm-hmm.
then they come back and they just want to see that quick little thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or if you need to draw their attention toward the video for any reason, they can do that. So
Yeah.
newcomers to the platforms, the younger generation, you could say, are young people. They really want
video. Yeah. And I think that part of it is because of TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok just like came to change the revolutionized
Uh-huh.
It revolutionized the social media platforms and the video platforms, and now everything is video. So much so that Instagram, that was
Late to the party?
late to the video party.
Instagram was late to the video party.
Yeah, well, the beginning of Instagram was only images and pictures and things like that, and they incorporated like long format video because they were jealous of YouTube, and now because they're jealous of TikTok, they introduced Instagram Reels.
Instagram is just like that really famous, jealous
So you're just
girlfriend.
gonna have to get comfortable with video eventually. Just give in. Just
give in. Just put your phone at least on a tripod and just record yourself podcasting.
Okay, the other side that here the article says is that the YouTube just rolled out a podcast feature.
Yes, this
and
feature.
it's not really a podcast feature. It's a podcast tab.
It's a podcast joke.
I wouldn't call it a feature.
It's something to
It
have
will
announced.
be one day.
It's something to have announced at Podcast Movement, maybe. I don't know.
Mhm.
But it shows that they're serious about
Their
it. And
intentions.
their intentions, and they're moving in the right direction. So right now, if you go to the Explore tab, it's a little button that you can find from the homepage area of YouTube. In that Explore tab, there's all these categories now, and one of them is podcasts.
Mhm.
And that's something that podcasters have wanted forever. So it's so cool that that's there.
Mhm.
And then that leads you to this new podcast page.
Yeah, because that way you can discover podcasts.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. And that comes after a ton of other announcements that YouTube's been making about podcasting and video podcasting, including that they hired their first podcast exec last year, which is, so you know that YouTube is taking things very seriously when it comes to podcasting.
Now, if you go and check it out, what you're going to see is the very famous podcasts that have been on YouTube for a long time. So I don't know what the difference is really.
Yeah, well, there eventually is all sorts of speculation of the new things they're going to roll out, but we will keep you updated here on this podcast and on our YouTube channel. So make sure you stay up to date. We'll make sure to keep you up to date because podcasting on YouTube, it's our thing.
Yeah, it is. And the other sign that video podcasting is taking off is that YouTube is paying podcasters to make videos.
Yes, anywhere from $10,000 to $300,000.
50,000 to
Oh, 50.
Yeah, to 300,000 to either podcast episodes live or create video-based content to accompany them. So they're
Yeah.
incentivizing people on the platform.
That's
to
cool.
create more podcasts.
I think the idea is to get the trendsetters in on it. Get them, once the trendsetters come in and start making video podcasts, it'll make it more popular. This, of course, is in some type of contrast with the ongoing war between Google, Spotify, and Apple. And Google is YouTube. So Spotify somewhat recently has made tons of new, they're constantly making new, every week it's like they're doing something new for podcasters. But with their hosting company, with their hosting company.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one, company. With their hosting company, Anchor FM, you can upload video podcasts to Spotify. And they've rolled that out to more people than just the US. So lots of countries now can also do that. It's really cool. They support up to 4K video. There's no cost. You can host your podcast for free. So great.
Now the discoverability thing, it's just
No. And that actually,
I've been very frustrated with Spotify for that reason.
Yeah.
You have to submit your podcast to be considered to get featured, your video podcast. We did.
It did not get featured.
It did not get featured.
But you can resubmit it every month. So we're going to submit it again.
We're going to try it again.
And would you please feature it?
By the way,
Spotify?
we posted a video about all the process, all the steps that you need to take.
Yes.
Because we documented when we did it for our podcast.
And we will leave the link to that video in the description of this episode.
It's in our other YouTube channel.
Yes, it is on our other YouTube channel, Pod Sound School, or our YouTube channel. Let's just say, can you say that again? Say it's on our YouTube channel.
It's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah. We got to be careful because some people are just listening to this
yes,
podcast.
yes. If you're listening, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry you're listening. I'm like, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
She's not
I'm
sorry that you're
you
listening.
You have to listen to my accent.
Look, listening is fine, Oh boy. Okay, so this actually transitioned us perfectly into our second point.
You always ignore the last point.
Oh, I think we can usually just ignore the last point. And things in life.
And it's the fact that tech brands are jumping into video podcasting, like we said. Spotify is doing it. And another that they mentioned here, other company, Sanecaster, now is offering video too.
Oh yeah, that's a good sign too. So you know that now, in addition to Squadcast FM, Riverside FM, now Zencaster as well allows for video remote recording of your podcasts. So there's just all sorts of creative ways that you can now video podcast. And what's interesting is the whole industry is now having this brain shift, including us. It was thought of, years ago, and we have a podcasting course that teaches people how to podcast on YouTube. We've been teaching students and clients forever and seeing them get some really amazing results when they finally decide to include YouTube and video into their podcasting. I mean, their podcasts explode. We have so many examples of that. But in all of that, it was thought that if you're going to succeed on YouTube, that this long format isn't going to perform well there. And now with all this new data and these new polls and statistical things that they're gathering all the time, it's quite the contrary to that. You can actually, people love long format on YouTube. There's an audience for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to make standalone how-to videos on YouTube about the topic of your podcast. No, you can just show up and podcast
And do what we do.
Yeah, and podcast as usual, just with the camera on YouTube. And the editing also doesn't have to be much different as well. I also have an editing video that I will make sure to leave in the description. We do. The editing video will show you how we edit our podcast. So show you how you can take one camera shot and turn that one camera shot into 3 different camera shots very quickly and edit the video and the audio at the same time. It's my gift to you, and it's some serious game-changing stuff.
Yeah.
So definitely
we're getting a lot of views on that video.
Yes, we are. Definitely check the link for that. But that transitions us now into the next part, right?
Yes. So
don't touch me.
Why don't you take this one? The difference between YouTube and the older podcast platforms.
Well, see,
I know that there's a lot of, people in our industry that they're like, this pod sounds cool. People.
Bastardos. How could you? It's true.
Who do they think they are?
I'm an old school guy. I've been podcasting for 20 years.
The RSS is our
God.
No. Let's not make fun.
Okay, no. Listen.
They're they protect the RSS like they protect a life.
Yes, like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the RSS. The technology is amazing.
So, but could you explain, like somebody, this is new for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is the difference between you having a podcast on YouTube and having a podcast on the podcast players, or like, what's the differences and what's the controversy and what's going on?
Yeah, there's a lot of controversy. Also, a lot of probably business interest that's at stake. A lot at stake. You're talking jobs, money, livelihood, something that has been going on for a long time, a technology that the whole podcasting industry has been built off of is this technology called RSS, which is the RSS feed.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Curry invented it way back when, in 2005, when we were just, it's a brand new industry. 2005 was not that long ago. And basically an RSS feed is just a link to a website that allows you to share information from that website or allows people to subscribe to it. RSS also works for blog posts. You can also get somebody's YouTube RSS feed, and anytime they update or release a video, you can reshare that like on your social media platforms and stuff, right? And why it works so beautifully for podcasts is because you have a podcast hosting site where you only upload your...
let me interrupt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Because I have a video too. Like every 2 sentences. I posted a video on our YouTube channel where I explained what is an RSS feed and how it works and how you can get one. And it's a really, really good video. I put a lot of work and a lot of love into it. So
it's quite amazing.
So go watch it. Another link down here.
Linkity and the thingity majingity.
Linkity.
Check the box for the link. I mean, come on.
Check the linkity.
And if you happen to be watching this video on YouTube, you can check the little I button thingies because we'll put them up there as cards you can click on as well too. We're going to make sure that you come and watch some of our videos because we are here to help you succeed with the video podcasting.
We have so much to offer.
I mean, this is like our big thing. This is our thing. It's podcasting on YouTube.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this is our bread and butter.
Hey, I'm interrupting the episode for a little announcement. You know you have to create content to attract more prospects online, but the whole thing seems daunting and too much to figure it out on your own. Which social media platform should I choose? Should I start making videos for IG Reels, TikTok, or YouTube? What skills do I need to learn? What equipment do I need? Or maybe you're considering starting a podcast for your business. And if any of that's the case, we want to invite you to sign up for the waitlist for Smart and Simple Podcasting. It's our first coaching program where we, the Pod Sound School, will be teaching you how to create and launch a professional podcast from scratch. Content marketing, so your content is a lead generation machine for your business, and different ways to maximize every time you record so you can create micro pieces of content that will go on different social media platforms. We'll be holding your hand through the whole process, meeting weekly with you, making sure that you're not getting left behind. We'll be teaching students and clients about podcast and video production and marketing for 4 years. Our approach to teaching is straightforward, innovative, and fun. So hurry up and go to podcastingsmart.com/waitlist to sign up or find the link in the description of this episode. Stop working so hard on your content. Make your content work for you. Now back to the episode. So Sorry. So go back to the RSS.
So basically, RSS allows you to upload everything to your podcast host, and then the podcast players essentially subscribe to the podcast host material. So every time you upload, the players update. Things are shifting with that technology. One of the main reasons things are shifting has nothing to do with video podcasting, is because of Apple wanted to allow this subscriptions option, which was really cool. Big game changer. We have a video on our channel talking all about it.
We know. We know.
But we do. And what happened was, you know how...
I'm sorry.
If you've listened to podcasts at all, you know, you hear, come follow us on Patreon, where we have 3 different tiers. And then when you try to, you have to like actually physically go to your mom's computer and show her how to log on to Patreon, because
it's so hard.
It's difficult and it's weird.
That is so hard.
So it's hard to get people to come over to a membership area. Well, Apple and Spotify now have a membership option. But in order for Apple to make that work, Apple had to start allowing you to upload your files directly to Apple, which was a brand new thing. And now in addition to that, when you upload stuff to Apple, you can upload your entire show to Apple, meaning that you don't need a podcast host anymore, which again, I'm sure there was like a bunch of, dudes.
But wait a minute. Isn't it just for the premium content?
No, it's not just for the premium content.
You can upload everything?
Yes, you can upload everything directly to Apple.
And there's no limits to the
file size or anything like
size?
that.
No.
I'm a little wishy-washy on the price, but I think it just has to do with your iTunes membership. It comes with your iTunes membership.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's something that we should look into.
Yeah, well, the reason I haven't looked into it yet is because it's all gray area, weird stuff, and Apple still kind of doesn't have things figured out.
Oh,
which is pretty cool, because that's Apple's reputation.
And you may be worried.
That's what they do. Apple has a page right now that you can go to. We can leave the link.
We know, if we remember.
There's going to be so many links. So many links for you to check out.
We remember half of them.
Apple has a video podcast page that says, hey, we accept and support video podcasts. They say this. You can upload your video to our platform. It says it.
And then what?
You can't.
Oh, okay.
At least currently at the time that we're reading this, I cannot figure it out. I've even gone to the Twitters. If any of you
know, let us know.
Please, I've gone to the Twitters, and nobody would answer me on the Twitters too. What's the deal? What's going on? Am I crazy? Anyway, but no, you can't on Apple. And so, but again, signs that things are going to change. Go back in time to 2005, or in that area of time when podcasts first hit the platform on iTunes. Video podcasts were a part of it. And so initially the RSS whole technology was meant to support video to be shared. And it hints at, and Apple's video podcast page hints at the fact that podcast hosting companies are looking into how they can start providing video too.
Yeah.
And so I would not be surprised if your current hosting company that you host your podcast with has that in mind. And that might be a concern you have, and let them know. Contact your hosting company and say, hey, I want to stay with you. I'm a loyal customer. I love the features, because there's a lot of good features on these hosting companies. Are you going to ever support video? Because Apple's page says that you can share your RSS feed. Jeez, somebody needed to do their motorboat exercises. Apple says you can support that feed.
The RSS feed?
The RSS feed. Yes, Apple says
the
you can
RSS feed.
Feet. So, wow.
I just think that will be a bummer for a lot of the
hosting
I feel
companies.
like the hosting companies, they're like having to move so quickly to
with all the
changes that are happening, and some of them are not very fair.
One of the reasons they have to move so quickly is because Spotify is just this cutthroat competitor. With what they do with Anchor,
like trying to put small businesses out of business.
They're either trying to put, I don't think that's the motivation at all. I think the motivation is to be the YouTube of podcasts. That absolutely is what Spotify
But that's
wants.
Good for you, for the creator, for the online business owner. Like,
when you have these tech companies
so many
fighting,
options.
Yeah.
So how does YouTube work?
YouTube works. You cannot currently put your podcast on YouTube and generate an RSS feed. So people will say, if you have a video podcast that's only on YouTube and you
have
don't
to come watch it here,
and you don't have a podcast host, then that's not a podcast, because
semantics. Where's the RSS?
Where's the RSS in that YouTube thing you call a podcast that has millions of subscribers?
The RSS feed.
Well, what you can do then is you can upload the same content because it's your content. You can upload that same exact file to Anchor for free, and then it will be a video podcast on Anchor, and then Anchor will also give you an RSS feed with the audio of that. So you'll have, like we do, a video podcast available on Spotify and YouTube, and you'll have an audio podcast available on all of the audio directories, which currently, as we speak, I believe is the best strategy for anybody into podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a long-winded and unscripted explanation of it all. But basically, get yourself some video. You don't need anything expensive to start. We're going to be getting into some best practices right at the end and some quick recommendations for you. So why don't we move on to the second part of this episode?
To the do's and don'ts?
Oh, that's the third part of this episode.
Yeah.
So why don't we move on? That was rewinding.
Oh, okay. I thought you were having a seizure.
Well, maybe you should rewind with me. Let's rewind again. Well, I think actually you were, never mind. Why don't we move on to point number 3 of this riveting and highly organized episode?
Okay, so now let's talk about the do's and don'ts if you're going to start podcasting on YouTube. And the first one, the first don't is don't name your titles episode 001 about Martita and Felipe.
Season 2, episode 4, Martita and Felipe.
Yeah. Titles and thumbnails are very, very important on YouTube. In fact, that's how the algorithm is going to know what your video podcast is about. And that's why your titles should have keywords. For example, instead of like Martita and Felipe, episode 001 is like, what did Martita and Felipe talked about during that episode or in that episode? Did they talk about marital problems, or did they talk about raising kids or whatever the thing that they talked about? Go and do your research and see if that's a keyword that is highly searched, so you can put that keyword in your title. You don't need to put your episode number there or the names of people who are not well known, or like, who knows who Martita is. Chances are that nobody's going to be searching for Martita on YouTube.
They need to be pretty
if you have
famous.
the Kardashians in your episode, like maybe, because they are famous. But if it just happened to be somebody like you and I, then just
an industry professional.
Or an industry
Maybe
professional.
it's a big wig in your industry, but still put their name at the end of the title.
Yes.
So
thumbnails are important too.
Thumbnails are very important. And the keyword research that Veronica mentioned, Tubebuddy is a must. You can go to podsoundschool.com/Tubebuddy, also another linkity and a thingity, to try it for free. Tubebuddy is really just a must-use tool, especially the Keywords Explorer tool inside of Tubebuddy. That will change your life. And it will help you take advantage of really the whole reason to podcast on YouTube to begin with, which is the fact that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, and that it also has an algorithm that is very friendly to creators, meaning that it will suggest your content to people, much like TikTok. So it does some of that promotional work for you. If you target keywords, if you make attractive thumbnails, and if you, after doing that keyword research, also pile a whole pile of topics that you can discuss on your podcast that you know people are interested in, using Tubebuddy, you'll see your videos start ranking on the first page of search results. And that's huge. There currently is not anything like that at all on any of the podcast players.
Yeah, that's how we've been able to grow and to be where we are, just because we've been posting content on YouTube. If you compare it with the other platforms.
Yeah. And that's it for this episode. Hopefully you found it helpful. We also do have, like we mentioned at the first episode, a workbook. It's called Video Podcasting on YouTube and Spotify, which, like I mentioned, is the best strategy. It's only $47. It's also a video series. There's 2 videos in there. Veronica has a really helpful video lesson.
About confidence and about how to use a teleprompter if you feel more comfortable with a teleprompter. It's a very, very useful lesson that I throw in there for my shy podcasters.
And then I have a lesson in there where I actually walk you through our exact keyword research process using TubeBuddy. And also there's a downloadable spreadsheet that you get that works with either Google Sheets or it also works in Excel if you want to use it that way. And it's already set up for you to operate or to do your own keyword research. Really helpful stuff. And you can download that workbook by going to podcastingsmart.com/video. And I know we put a lot of links in the description below, but that one will be at the top. Then you'll have podsoundschool.com/TubeBuddy. If you want to try out TubeBuddy, that's how you can download it as an extension on Google. And that's it.
Yeah.
And let us know what you thought about this episode in the comments. Please come visit us on social media anywhere at Pod Sound School.
And until the next episode, Jefe up. Bye.